So I would say that the biggest waste is not time, it's not fulfilling your full potential. The biggest waste that people have in their lives is like a limiting belief. They think that they cannot do it, or they think that is hard, and the thing that they will do will not have enough quality, or people will not appreciate, or something, maybe it's clumsy, the market doesn't want it. Well, it can be like that, it can. But there is a bigger problem. It's that you are wasting your talent with those negative thoughts. Because people are not just one thing, people are multiple things. And if they accept that, explore their potential and are not afraid of taking risks, I think that's the biggest waste. It's just going through life, not doing the full things that your body, your brain, your personality could do. And I think that's the biggest waste that we need to be aware.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Career Soul. For those of you who have been with us since the very first session, you recognize it as guest. But if you are new to Career Soul, I'm delighted to welcome Marco Ferra, Program Manager, Mentor, and Executive Coach to Career Soul again. Over a year ago, Marco joined us and shared his experience with us. He taught us ways to stand up in the job market, a session that everybody absolutely loved. And you can watch it in YouTube. The link is in the comments. Marco, thank you for accepting my invitation, and it's good to have you here.
Thank you for inviting me, and I'm thrilled because I just saw the video that you created and it's amazing. I love that. I'm not sure if your audience saw it. I saw it and it's beautiful, so congratulations, and it's good to be here.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's sort of my journey throughout the years, but yeah. Marco, you are very well known for your expertise in Lean Six Sigma and program management. And I've been to several of your talks quite recently for Utopia, Global Event, and before that in Cambridge. But through the time that I've known you and you have shared your experience with me, I've come to realize that Lean is more than a business methodology to you. It's sort of a philosophy. Is that true? And if yes, when did you realize that you can apply it in everyday life, and how did you do it?
That's a good question. I'm not sure if there is a point in time that I can say that I really became aware. I think it's a combination of personality, maybe experience, past experience, the way that I see the world. And so the first time that I really took a serious look at this framework and learning from history what happened in Japan in the 50s after World War II, and then seeing this in manufacturing, it was around 10 years ago. So 10 years ago. And I love that because when I started studying the people that really took this seriously and learned about optimizing processes and making businesses more lean and making sure that we understand the business from a customer perspective and not just from an internal perspective, I really realized that I've been doing that most of my life since I was a teenager, because I was also always very, how can I say this, frugal, economical. I tried to understand things before opening my wallet. I used my brain. And so all the principles that I saw in manufacturing, I also saw in my personal life. And I'm not sure if I'm a really lean person. What I can try to say is that I try to be. One of the things that I learned, if I can share with you, it's that for us to have a good answer, we need to make a good question. Half of the answer is a good question. It seems trivial to think this way, but it's not trivial to ask the right question. So one thing that helps is learn by reading books about people that already saw this happening, biographies, for example, or management books or some other type of books, interacting with people that have the similar mindset, not the same struggles or the same roles or the same industries, but the same mindset, and that helps refine our ways of thinking and then have a lean approach to things. It's always try to see how can we best employ money, how we best ask better questions, making sure that we are understanding the problem fully to arrive to a sound solution. And that's my experience. But formally, I've been doing this for 12 years, more or less. But since I was, I don't know, 16, 17, 18, that I've been thinking like this. So that's the connection there.
From my observation, you're one of those people that you're an action man, as you put it, and you have this unusual ability to turn ideas into reality. Whereas so many people have ideas, but only few of them execute them. So what would you think is the difference there? Why that happens? Is there a way to become more of an action person?
It's difficult to say because that depends on the personality, on the specific individual, I would say. I can tell you what I think about it, and maybe people can relate a little bit. So one first thing that we need to realize is that we are going to make mistakes. I always take mistakes with a smile. Maybe the first 2 seconds I'm not smiling, but after that I smile a little bit because mistakes, I had a friend of mine that usually said to me, if we win, we win. If we don't win, we learn. Something like that, And so mistakes are learning opportunities, and always with a smile. So one thing that drives me to action is not being afraid. Or maybe being afraid, but even so, the reward of learning is bigger than the frighten. It's bigger than being afraid. So do that. Then you also need to be prepared to lose money or to lose your face or something like that. Let me give you an example. Another friend of mine tells me that if you don't put money on the table, you are not committed enough. And it's more or less, I think it's true. If you don't put the money on the table, money it's like a metaphor, it doesn't need to be money. But you need to try to do something that is really hard for you, that you are not expecting to be successful. You are just expecting to see, like a scientist, expecting to see what's happening, like an explorer, just trying to understand how things work, because this is a messy world and sometimes things don't make any sense. But that's the world, it's like it is. It's the way that people evolve. So just accept that with a smile and try the best that you can. And also, last thing maybe, it's that you need to surround yourself with people that are positive in a way that they can push you forward when you are a little bit more lazy. Having someone that sometimes is a little bit rough, or sometimes that say, hey, wake up, you need to do this, and you do the same to them, I think it helps, having that community that pushes you forward, because you can do it alone. But if you can do it with someone else, I think it's better. So surround yourself with people. And maybe you are telling yourself, or maybe your audience are telling themselves, well, it's difficult to find people that I can relate to. It's difficult. Well, yeah, it's difficult, okay? It's difficult for me, it's difficult for you, it's difficult for everyone. But try it. You will see that if you are open, you are transparent, if you are honest, if you are positive, if you really want to do something, people will see that and they will want your success. They will help you. So wake up in the morning, put the money on the table, smile when you get a mistake made, and accept that people, when they see that, they will help you. So that would be my approach.
Oh, I love how you put it. It's to be open to all these experiences and to not just the good parts, but to the difficult parts, because that's the part that really actually matters. So speaking of ideas and the ones that you bring to life, is there anything that you're working on right now that you would want to share with us?
Well, I'm working on something that I think I showed you some days ago. I'm using AI a lot these days. I have a subscription because I love the way that it challenges me. I was a real engineer 20 years ago. Now I'm in management, but I feel being close with the machine and saying that it's not really intelligent in a way that a human is. It's good to learn with it. So I'm using AI to build a specific platform that I will show into the world in a couple of months or something like that. But right now I'm using AI a lot. And I'm using it in a way that is lean, in a lean way. I don't want to do what has been done in the past. I want to build something that is aligned with the principles that I have, the things that I saw in manufacturing, the way that I think it's good engineering. I take that as a personal pride. I like to do things the best that I can. the best that I can, and it's something that I'm working right now. So having an online platform to do something that I will not say what it is, but applying lean principles.
Amazing. So we have your promise now. We'll look forward to seeing it.
Well, let's see. I will try. I'm ready to make the mistake. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm putting the money on the table. So let's do it.
Amazing. That's what we want. Cool. So now I remember you told me once that you have this sophisticated system that filters out trivial things. Thinking about that system and the waste that are in everybody's life, what would you say are the biggest source of waste in everyday life that we're having?
If we learn about Lean and Six Sigma and Lean manufacturing, we came across Taishi Ono. Taishi Ono was a Chinese man that was hired by Toyota at the time to revamp the manufacturing that they had at the time in Japan. So, and he came to 7 wastes. So motion, transport, overprocessing, waiting, and so on. And later on, there was a waste number 8, that is not using the full human potential. That's the number 8 waste. And I think that the biggest waste that people have in their lives, it's like a limiting belief. You know, they think that they cannot do it, or they think that is hard, and the thing that they will do will not have enough quality, or people will not appreciate, or something, maybe it's clumsy, the market doesn't want it. Well, it can be like that, it can. But there is a bigger problem. It's that you are wasting your talent with those negative thoughts. So I would say that the biggest waste is not time, although time it's a big waste sometimes, but it's not time, it's not fulfilling your full potential. Because people sometimes they have jobs, they are fulfilled, or they have a big family or something, a hobby or something like that. But people are not just one thing, people are multiple things. And if they accept that, explore their potential and are not afraid of taking risks, I think that's the biggest waste. It's just going through life, not doing the full things that your body, your brain, your personality could do. And I think that's the biggest waste that we need to be aware.
So managers ask that what is the hardest type of waste to eliminate? Time, habit, mindset, or something else? And why would that be? I think this you have kind of answered it, but the hardest that everybody faces.
The hardest is the one that you cannot see. The hardest is the one that you are not aware. It's really hard to be aware. So for example, when I'm having a bad day, I just go out for a coffee and I just walk and try to see different things, or trees or roads or something like that, because I'm losing, I'm losing perspective. I'm losing the way that I see things, and being aware of that, it's not easy. So the hardest type of waste is the waste that you cannot see. That's why you need someone to help you, because someone that is detached from the problem, someone that is not feeling the problem as you are, they will pinpoint to you where is the biggest waste, and then you can see, and then you can do something about it. So the biggest problem that you have, it's not being aware of the problem, and that happens to everyone. And so that's the biggest problem. Now the other problem that maybe you can identify, it's waiting. Waiting for me, it's the biggest problem. Waiting creates all sorts of problems after this one. So waiting creates sometimes stock. We are waiting in a queue, or waiting for something to happen. We are losing opportunity, the opportunity cost of doing something else. Waiting to receive an answer when we should be doing something, not waiting for that, So waiting for me creates a lot of different problems. But the first problem is not being aware of the situation.
I thought of it that way. That's a really good point. And sometimes fear of waiting to feel ready. Because most of the time you're like, oh, but wait till I do this, then I can do the thing that I want to do. Or
don't wait.
That. Yeah.
Don't wait.
Waiting can translate to so many things.
Of course. That's right.
So managers asking, what is one small change that consistently delivers the biggest improvements over time for you?
Long run, I suppose. Be consistent. Do it every day. So for example, prepare a meal every day for you. It doesn't need to be very complex, or doesn't need to be very exquisite, prepare a meal, cook some rice, some eggs, eat that at the same time. Don't be lazy, don't order, go to the fridge, cook a meal, or do it every day. And also go to bed every day at the same time, or wake up every day at the same time, or go every day to the gym, or for a run, or for a coffee, or send a message to a friend every day, say hi, something like that. And when you do something repeatedly, it doesn't matter if it is high value, just do it repeatedly. It creates a sense that you are moving forward. And that sense is good for all the other thought processes that you have in your head. Because when you see that you are moving forward, you have more predisposition to do something else. So if you cook a meal every day, if you go to bed every day at the same time, if you wake up every day at the same time, your day will be slightly better. And that compounds, because after a week, after a month, after 6 months, you are not the same person that you were 6 months ago. So choose something, feel the resistance of doing it, feel that you are tired, that you don't want to do it, that there's something else better to do. It doesn't matter. Just do it anyway, put your full attention to it, and do it consistently, and you'll get better. So I would say that. And then you can solve bigger problems, But start with a meal. Start by making your bed at the same time, something like that.
Yeah.
Start, do something. Something more complex and more meaningful will come after. But right now, do that. That would be my recommendation. Let's suppose that you are in a difficult situation. You are looking for a job. Or maybe you'll have a presentation tomorrow to people that are important. Or maybe you'll have a tough conversation with your line manager. You need to be in a mindset, in a framework that you need to detach yourself. You need to be aware of your feelings. You need to be aware of who you are. You need to prepare in advance in the best way that you can, and just make the delivery. Because if you practice every day doing something consistently, when it matters, and there will be a time that it matters, you will be better prepared. You will be ready. Your mind, it's like a fortress, And if something doesn't go well, if you start feeling anxious or sad or irritated, or the line manager is being annoying or something like that, you will be more grounded. You will be more, how can I say, more solid, as like a rock. And then you'll be able to control yourself better. Your message will be better. Your probabilities of success in the future will be higher. So you need to do that every day, because making a meal every day, maybe it's not important, but having a good conversation with your line manager is. So start small and do that.
Love it. Thank you. There is this comment here saying that I've experienced how applying. Oh, okay, I think it goes back to our previous point of discussion, but it's saying that I've experienced how applying cash flow management principles to my personal finances significantly improved my financial decisions and reduced unnecessary stress. Have you seen similar examples where lean thinking has improved personal financial habits?
Of course. Yes. Lean thinking can be used in this. So I'm a big spender. I just like to spend money. It's awful, because when I go shopping or there is some kind of celebration, I just buy the best meat that I can find, or the best wine, or something like that, and I don't even want to look at the price tag. I don't want to see it. It's ruining my mood. Don't ruin my mood. But when I want to do really something meaningful, I pick up a spreadsheet. I pull out the bank statement, the full bank statement. I do a really good analysis, and when I apply the lean thinking that I have, and I start cutting, it's so much. It's mind blowing. The little things that we waste money on that we can be saving for a specific training, or taking an MBA, or maybe using LinkedIn Premium or something like that. I don't know, there is a lot. I know what I know is that is a lot of money that we waste every day without being aware that if we are very mindful, we can do a lot better with that. Some people do it naturally. I don't do it naturally. I just need to restrain myself. But you can apply it and you should apply it because one thing that I learned early on is that, for example, education, training, it's the best thing that you can have. And usually it's expensive. So if you can use the lean thinking in your finance to put yourself in a better position personally and in terms of the marketplace, I think it's a good strategy. So just do it.
Yeah, I think if I can, and add to that, I would say that I've actually tried what Marco is suggesting here. So I created this fixed spends and then flexing things like coffee, things like that. And then I've added this formula to calculate how much is left. Then just 2-3 months, I was like, I really need to change
Yeah,
things.
it's there's some money there. There's some money there,
Yeah,
of course.
it's really,
And
it's really
companies they know that. Companies know that because when they put a subscription monthly
exactly.
or early subscription with a discount, it's all marketing stunts, you know. They know how you work. They know. That's their business to know. And there are tiny little things that you do every day or every month that is really draining your wallet. So just apply those principles and you will see it. Make it visible.
Thank you.
So one of the principles is make waste visible. Make waste visible. The way to see that it's to a spreadsheet or some kind of notebook, bank statement system that you have. But you need to look at the numbers. Look at the numbers and you will see.
Great advice. Thank you. There's one from Ashkan here who's saying that mistakes are not the real problem. As you said, the real disaster in management and in life is repeating the same mistake. So my question is, what do you do to prevent mistakes from happening again?
Well, people can repeat mistakes many times, not 1,000 times, I would say, but 2-3 times maybe they can. For me, what helps is just remove the source of the mistake. You know, remove the source. So, for example, when I was young, when I was a teenager, I had a television, a telly in my bedroom. And it was addicted. You know, I saw movies there, I saw everything there. I was a teenager, I like to see TV, you know. But the TV creates a lot of waste in time. You know, when you are seeing something, maybe you are not doing something else that could be more profitable or valuable or something like that. But I cannot control myself. The TV is very amusing, you know, it's very addictive. So what I did, just remove the TV. The damn thing has a power off button. It can be unplugged. Just remove the TV from the place. And when you feel that you want to see TV, well, tough luck. There is no TV. So it's something like that. When you see that you are repeating your mistake, just remove the source of the mistake. If you are feeling bad after speaking with someone, don't speak so many times with him. You know,
Yeah.
speak with someone else. Or if you keep doing the same mistakes, like eating, I don't know, a dessert, ice cream every day after dinner, just don't buy the ice cream. You need to go outside to buy the ice cream, and then it's too much friction. You'll not do it. So just put a blocker, you know, because you will not control yourself, but you can control the blocker. So put the blocker or put 2 or 3 blockers, and then you will not make the mistake, or at least the probability of making that mistake is much lower. So you need to just put blockers. And everyone is like you. I like to do things and it's difficult for me to control myself. So for example, when I'm working, I like to work a lot at night. So one thing that I don't do is that I don't charge my laptop. And when it runs out of battery, it's game over. It's time to stop. And that's the way that I created for myself not to lose hours of sleep and all of that. So just remove the things that is making you making mistakes. Just
So do you also hide your charger? I'm curious to know.
I don't hide it because I'm very messy. I just put in some place that I don't remember where it is, and then it's too
That
much
works
trouble
too.
just to at night opening the drawers and something like that. So I don't care.
That works too. Thank you. So
Of course,
I'm conscious of time, but I wonder if you have a few more minutes because I really want
I have.
to talk about
Sure.
your mentoring experience. So
That's
you've
it.
been increasingly involved in mentoring. What made you feel it was time to invest more in people's growth?
I love learning with situations. I'm not really afraid of mistakes anymore. I love doing mistakes. I don't want to do it on purpose, but if they happen, they happen. When I speak with someone, when they share with me their struggles, I also learn with that because I embody the situation and I try to remember my past experiences. I take notes and I create a plan and we grow together. It's not like a teacher student relationship. It's not like that. I'm the teacher, I'm the student at the same time. And it's something that really gives me pleasure because I learn, I grow, and most of the time we'll help each other and the other person also grows. And many different people, they have different struggles, not they are unique human beings with unique experiences, and they just need I would say a safe place. A safe place is like a buzzword, but it's where they can just cut the fluffy talk. Just be honest with yourself. Be honest with me. I will always be honest with you. Maybe a little bit rough sometimes, but that's life. Life is rough, and I love that because I grow, the other person grows, and we learn, and it's much better when we are working together towards a common goal. I think so. It's just
Yeah.
faster.
Just faster, but more efficient. I find it that many
It's
times when
efficient.
I tell someone that I'm working on something, again, not everyone, because when I tell everyone, then I won't do it. But if I tell someone, and it's like a particular someone that I don't want to look bad or I really want to deliver, show them deliver, I tell them. It really helps me to work harder and better to
Of
actually
course,
do the thing. So yeah,
of
working
course,
with someone is really helpful.
it's helpful, and you learn how to tailor your communication with someone that it doesn't communicate the same way as you. So for example, I like to speak directly. I think it's faster, but some people, they like to chat more or to send messages because the brain works better with words. I'm not so good with words, so I'm a little bit clumsy. But it's also a training ground for me because I can try to meet the other person in the communication channel that is preferred to that person, and I also practice that. So it's good for everyone. Good for everyone.
Yeah, and I would say for the other person as well, because not everybody will be, using lots of words to communicate,
Of
but
course, of
yeah,
course,
especially when it comes to work.
of course.
So one more thing, so you've worked with many people, you've mentored many, and have you noticed a characteristic or trait that is common among those who have progressed significantly?
Yes, the commonality that I've seen is that they are not listening positive things enough. Something like that. They are in a place that they think that they cannot do it, that it's hard. And it is hard, but it's not so hard as they think it's hard. And that's the common trait. In general, it also happens to me. I think it happens with everyone. The way that we look at ourselves, it's much more rough. We are more, it's like we punish ourselves in a way that the other people doesn't do that. They don't do that. And sometimes we say to ourselves, we can't do it. I'm having troubles with this. Maybe it's not my way of doing things. Maybe it is. You just need a little bit of push. Don't give up right now. Just try a little bit more. And the commonality is they need to listen the truth for someone that is not them. And most of the time it's positive. Most of the time they have the required skills and the personality and the energy to succeed. It's just because they are seeing themselves as someone that it's not going to do it, that creates that self fulfilling prophecy of no, that something is not going to go as they want, but it will. They just need someone outside to say that it will, and it will. So that's the common thing that I saw.
Do you remember any specific stories from the mentoring sessions that you've had? For example, it was fulfilling, or there was a good lesson learned there, something around those?
One of the mentees had a lot of certifications, a lot of education, a lot of experience, many years of in the workforce, and she was unemployed, and it was hard for her. It was interesting because it was not the lack of skills. It rarely is the lack of skills. It was the way that she was presenting herself to the hiring manager, to the person that was interviewing her, because she was just solving the problem right there. She was just saying everything that she knew. We need to do this, you need to do that. I have this experience, and it's correct. But she can solve the problem after she gets hired, not at that moment. That moment, it's a moment that you need to create trust, a trustworthy relationship. You need to listen to the questions. You need to be calm. You need to try to instill a sense of being positive. Try to go and understand why the hiring manager is asking you those questions. Don't solve companies' problems just because you are very skilled. Just breathe, and you can solve the problems later on. And sometimes people are not aware of that. Sometimes people are not aware of the context. So, and that's very fulfilling, because I've also interviewed a lot of people, and I know what is the mindset of the interviewer. And no interviewer wants you to solve the company's problems. You can solve the problems after you get hired, after you sign the contract. When you are inside, you can solve the problems. The interview, it's not for that. The interview is for you to create a relationship, an initial relationship with the other person, to try to understand what are their concerns, try to create a relationship based on trust, on honesty. You can also tell them about your skills and their experience, of course, but it's not the time to solve problems. It's the time to present yourself in the best way that you can, to create that bond, and that is very fulfilling, because I don't think that people lack skills. It's just they lack awareness. I think it's just awareness of the situation.
Wow, that's so interesting. I never thought that being able to actually propose a solution to the problem that would overwhelm the situation so much that actually backfire.
It can happen. It can
Yeah.
happen for sure.
Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna combine two questions that I have into one,
Please.
and that is, so what would determine a good dynamic in a mentoring experience? For example, if someone is looking for a mentor, what should they look for? What are those very important characteristics that they need to have in mind when choosing, to invest their time?
Three things, maybe three. First, a good relationship, it's based on trust, and I'm going to use a strong word. Maybe it's a no bullshit zone. No bullshit, no bullshit. You tell me what's going on. Be nice, of course, but you tell me what's going on, and I will tell you what I see, and that's that. Secondly, the mentor needs to care about the other person. He needs to care. He needs to be emotionally attached to the success of the other person. If it is just transactional, just shake hands, bye bye, doesn't work. Sometimes I do overtime. I expect the other person to do overtime. That's like that. I'm here for your success. We'll grow together. If you walk away, I walk away. It's like that. We need to be honest with each other. And thirdly, we need to do the homework. That is, if I make a recommendation to do something, just be prepared to do it, even if it is a little bit awkward or uncomfortable or something like that. You need to trust, because I will not say anything that I didn't do myself in the past. I will not do that. So if I'm suggesting something to try, let's try. Let's really try, not just little try. No, just do it, and we'll learn with that. And those three things, I think that they are key to the success. And I can tell you that everyone that I worked with, all relationships, they had success. Some level of success, most of the time very high, very high. And it's always a pleasure. And I will not give up. I don't give up until we'll reach that point where people are happy, very pleased with the solution. So those three components need to be there.
That's amazing. Thank you. Do you have anything that you would like to add, Marco?
Yes, I would like to add that I think that we are broadcasting on LinkedIn or something like that, and use the platform to reach out to me and to reach out to me, start a conversation. Start the conversation. You are always so. The worst case scenario is that people will ignore you or they'll say no. That happens. It happens to me, it happens to everyone. But if you have some kind of question, if you have an idea, if you want to brainstorm a struggle that you are having, send a message. Send a message. And you will see that not just with me or Mina or someone else, just interacting, connecting with people, trying to create that relationship will pay you forward in time. So you will create a network, you will get some insights. Maybe you will learn that with that person you cannot talk to because he never replies, something like that. I don't know. But or you win or you learn. So just do it. Just reach out and do it.
Great advice. Thank you.
Sure.
I would absolutely recommend reaching out as well, connect with Marco, and start the conversation. I mean, he's the best in mentoring, so why not? And also, I would really recommend watching the previous episode, which I will paste the link in the comments so you can find it easily. And so the rest of the episode, of course. But again, I learned a lot as always. So thank you very much, Marco, for
Thank
coming
you.
to another session. And I really hope that we can have you some other time, more conversations.
Please invite me. I would love to be here another time. And it was a real pleasure. So thank you for doing this and for all the work. So thank you.
Thank you very much. And have a good rest of the day, everyone.
You too. You too. Thank you. Bye bye.